Okay, so another one of my quick recaps, what I was thinking in the market today, how I played everything out, and my pre-market plan. So for my pre-market plan, I said NQ above 17,600. I want to play long to 17,650. Once passing this with good volume, I'll look to play long to 17,688 and then 17,700. Now we never even got that far, but we'll see what I said midday to go along with everything. I said if we can start to see some sellers on the tape here, we'll look to reverse back to 17,582. Keep that number in mind. That was a big number today also. If we do not, we can still see supply at 775. To the downside, under 754, I want to play short to 17,500 and then even 17,460. Under that, we can see all these numbers on a really bad day. I also said ES looking better than NQ. If we pass supply, NQ looks bullish. I want to wait for a pullback to enter long to 49.50s and then 49.70s. To the downside, with VIX rising and NQ weak, we can look for shorts to 4,900. This being said, VIX has to continue to rise to see any follow through. If we do not see, we can see 4,900 as support or short squeeze at the 4,895 area. Now let's go over NQ first. Like I said, market opens and we immediately test 17,540. Now, especially early on in the day where there's a lot of volatility, each candle is making sometimes 20-point moves. I always move my stop to break even because I know I can always re-enter. And we'll see how that saved me again today. So I stopped out here, break even. I stopped out here, break even again. That was like 2 trades in 2 minutes. I said, okay, I need to take at least a 5-minute break. I even stayed in the Discord when I was short. I said short here, take profit, stop is break even. Short here once again, stop is 1760. Now stop is break even. I said we'll step back and wait for pre-market plan or something better. So now we start to make some structure down here, and I'm more confident on this way back up. Then once we start to find sellers in here, we can then make another move back down. So I took a nice short play. I almost got stopped out. Actually, a tick away from getting stopped out. All the way down to here, I believe this was a 2-contract play. I ended up getting about 31 points, which is pretty nice. And once I saw some buyers step in on the tape at the 17,504 area, that's when I cut my profits right there. And exactly what do you know, we reversed. And then once I saw this happen, I saw a inverse head and shoulders. So you can see one shoulder, the head, and the shoulder again. Now, along with that, we were also wedging NES, and VX was also coming down along with ES, this determining a possible reversal in the market. So with that being said, I stayed it in here. I said inverse head and shoulders here. I don't like shorts anymore right now, not enough follow through. I played short, I got about 30 points on NQ, but seeing this now, long is the best right now. Unless we break lower under 17,510 and hold, but then demand is right underneath, it's not a good risk to reward for my liking. I'll play short again at a higher level, I just don't like this now. I absolutely sniped the entry. We passed VWAP. This was 10 a.m. new sellers. We passed them right away too. And then we came into this pre-market area. Now, unfortunately, I was only meant to sell 1 contract. I took 2 contracts down here. And I ended up selling both of them by mistake. Very rookie mistake. We all make them sometimes. It is what it is. It was supposed to be take profit 1 here. But I ended up taking both of them. Take 2 profits right here. That was also 36 points. A little bit over 36 points, which was nice on 2 contracts. We passed right through my key area over here, 17,582. Like I said, make sure you remember that number. And then we get into here. We come past 17,600. And I know we're going to have to retest this level. Bears are going to want to see if bulls are strong enough to reclaim it and hold it. So what do? We test 17,600 and a nice buying candle comes in. We get a nice wick and I immediately enter. This being said that I enter, once we made this lower high in here, once we started to see some sellers in the tape up here, I moved my stop, immediately break even again. Now, the stop was break even. We come back down again, we test, and we immediately find buying once again. So I have no problem getting right back in. I believe I saved myself like 2 points or something like that getting back in. But a lot of people will say, why don't you just keep your stop loss where it was, down here, and you would have been fine. Or if it was over here, you would have been fine. Well, this being said, this is when, or NQ came back up. What if it didn't come back up like this time over here? I would have had a loss instead of a break-even trade. So we try it once again, and I ended up taking 1 profit in here. I took 1 contract out right here, just because we found sellers in this area once before. So I took 1 out of 2 cons here, and the other con was break even. Now, like I said, the 17,582 area, I also stated, I'll show you what time I stated this. I even said I was supposed to sell 1 con at this level for market open sellers, not full position. The second TP was supposed to be 17,600. A hold of 7,582, I'll consider bullish. Remember I said that. And then I said at 11:13 a.m., I said if we cannot move higher, we might have to retest 17,582 again to grab some liquidity. Keep in mind I said that at 11:13. 11:13 is right here. So I already knew this was going to happen. I already called it. Even though I got in the second entry anyways, like I said, I don't mind getting in when I'm seeing buying candles like this and moving my stop to break even once we start to move. So 17,582, we hit it. I see some consolidation. I see it come back up, a retest. Exactly what I wanted to see, buyers stepping right in, and I took a nice trade in here. Now I held both of these 2 contracts. I did not want it to go red on me. I was looking to shoot for 17,650 area. I was looking for a break of this and a nice move up. We found some sellers back into this consolidation area. Buyers stepped right back in again. So I already told myself if I already risked all this just to get back here, it doesn't make any sense. I already risked everything just to go back to where I was. No, if I'm risking this much, I want to look for this much up here. So I held both of the contracts, looking for the next move up. And then we consolidated in here. We saw some indecisions, buying drying up. So I immediately exited. I had a sell order right underneath these lows over here to exit as soon as it hits. And we fell right through, hit my sell order, and we continue falling down. That's why sometimes you have to actively manage your trade instead of just saying take profit or stop loss or even break even, because I would have gave up about another 35 points for no reason. So that trade happened, and then 17,582 comes back again. Now, when you hit key areas like this, you have to know that, when there's buyers stepping in, holding these levels, once here, and this level is from a couple days ago. So this has happened multiple times that this is a key level. How many times are we going to hit that level before buyers can't support it anymore or sellers want to dump through it? And I said, you have to question how many times we can touch an area or number and hold. And this was the picture that I took. You can see this was 1 contract, this trade, at the exact level that I'm about to show you right now. Took the trade right off of breaking through this level. I jumped it about, I think, 1 point or 3 ticks. And I was looking to hold this all the way down, but I saw these buyers come back in. And I really didn't want to risk a lower high being put in. So I just called my 1 contract there. No problem. Like I said, I could always go back in, which I ended up doing. I got back in almost exactly where I sold, seeing another dump down. We consolidated this area a little bit. We made a higher high. Almost took out my stop loss, and then we finally did all the way over here. This being said, like I said, you can always re-enter. I had about 1 tick less on this entry. I don't mind re-entering. I mean, I believe commissions is like $2 each way. I'll spend the $4 just to not, lose the possible 100, 200, whatever it will be, wherever the stop loss is. And as you can see, I perfectly found, again, sellers on the tape. You can see it once here, see it once here. You can see every time that I enter, there's a move right afterwards. This is understanding how price action and volume works together. I'm not even looking at the tape at this time, and I'm not even looking at level 2, nor am I looking at book maps. So I ended up taking 1 contract out here, thinking that we were going to possibly reverse again. I didn't want to give all these trades. Like I said, this was break even again. It's like my 3rd break even trade of the day. I didn't want to give all those points away. So took 1 contract out here, and then once again, I saw this break of this low, yet we still held this area right here to the tick, and I immediately got out once I saw some buyers coming back in on the tape, and you can see exactly when I got out, we rushed right back up. So I got about 23 points on this one, and then I got about another 35 points on this one. So not too bad. 2 contracts, like I said again. And this is just playing level to level, zone to zone. Also, along with this, I saw as ES was dropping, if you can see, I said lower low on ES and higher low on NQ. The divergence being that ES held more support throughout the day and the past couple days, and NQ has fallen a little more. This divergence showing that ES is a little bit weaker than NQ. NQ is a little bit more bullish in the moment, whether it's the 5 minutes, the past 15 minutes, whatever it is. And then 10 minutes after that, I said, VX is not increasing. Keep that noted. If ES is making lower lows and VX is not increasing, we will see a short squeeze in the market. We wedged, we made a lower low in here. And like I said, once again, without VX increasing, we're going to squeeze back up. And that's exactly what we did. And we ended the day, we squeezed up almost 20 points from here to here, just in that area where VX was not moving. And this was the previous trade that I just showed that I took. I said I traded this 3 times today, break even every time, but still sticking to plan every single time. If this time it doesn't work, so be it. Today has been 1 contracts and 2 contracts all day. It's set up to be my top 3 best days I've ever had. When I trade with less size, the percentage chance that I trade better is higher. And that goes for everybody. So being that I'm taking 1 and 2 contract trades and I'm getting all these points, it really does add up. This probably was my top 3 best day I've ever had. If you want to do the math real quick, we can say, 31 points there, 36 points there, 35 points there. So we're at 113 points already, 150 points. And this one we'll put it right in the middle because I had 2 contracts. 150. So I averaged about 180 point profit today. If you want to consider every trade was a 1 contract trade, even though some of them were 2, most of them were 2. There was only one that was 1. So if you do the math, I made a substantial amount of money today just trading 1 to 2 contracts and following through with my pre-market plan. ES wasn't that exciting. ES wasn't as exciting as NQ was. You could have longed off this wedge to supply. Easy as that. And then you saw sellers coming into supply. You could have shorted it trying to get to, 4,900, that number that I was saying, supply to demand. Once you noticed that VX was not increasing as we were going down, like I stated at 120, I believe, you would have got out somewhere right here. And then, 3 points lower, we found low of day, and then we squeezed back up. So if you went from supply to about the low, you could have got another 20 points. And then if you went from this wedge break, seeing some buyers coming in, VX coming down, you could have got about 15 points. This was posted in my free version of my Discord. Every Friday, I post my pre-market plan for everybody. And it was also posted in my premium, which every day I do this.